Ever hit snooze on your alarm? Well, count yourself lucky. Our ancestors had it way worse. From water torture drips to trained elephants spraying water, these bizarre wake-up methods will make your morning routine seem like a luxury spa treatment. Let me tell you about the most metal alarm clock ever invented. Literally. Back in ancient China, they created this wild contraption called a water clock. Here's how it worked. Water would slowly drip into a container, and when it got full, clang, a metal ball would drop right onto a brass plate next to the sleeper's head. Talk about a rude awakening. Some versions even had multiple balls dropping at different times, like a sleep-destroying symphony, and you couldn't just reach over and hit snooze. These things were serious business, often used by Buddhist monks who needed to wake up for their pre-dawn meditation. Suddenly, your phone's gentle chime doesn't seem so bad, right? The ancient Greeks took their wake-up calls to a whole new level of wild. They hired a guy, no joke, whose entire job was to walk around and wake people up. They called him the human rooster. But here's where it gets dark. One morning, this poor fellow woke up Philip of Macedonia at the wrong time. Philip got so mad he actually had the guy executed. Talk about a tough crowd, right? These human alarm clocks had to memorize everyone's schedule and preferred wake-up time, plus deal with grumpy people who definitely weren't morning persons. Next time you're annoyed at your alarm, remember, at least it won't cost anyone their life. Medieval monks came up with a wake-up system that's equal parts genius and brutal. They rigged up this crazy pulley system with ropes tied to weights, and get this, the other end was tied to their feet. When the designated wake-up time hit, these weights would drop, literally yanking the sleeping monks right out of bed. Imagine sleeping peacefully when suddenly, whoosh, you're doing an involuntary morning yoga session. Some monasteries even added bells to the weights so you'd get a lovely musical accompaniment while being dragged from your dreams. The monks called it mechanical obedience, but I call it the world's first automated bed ejector. Makes your gentle phone alarm seem pretty heavenly now, doesn't it? The Romans took morning wake-up calls to a whole new level of crazy with what I like to call the slapomatic 2000 BC. Rich Romans had special slaves called excitators whose sole job was to wake up their masters, and they got pretty creative with it. They invented this wild contraption that was basically a long pole with a flat piece of leather at the end. The slave would stand at a safe distance, smart move, and whack right across the face with the leather slapper. But here's the twist. Some Romans actually requested harder slaps, believing it would energize them for the day. Yeah, these folks literally paid people to slap them awake. Makes you appreciate your gentle phone vibration a bit more, doesn't it? The ancient Egyptians took wake-up technology to a whole new level of extra with their sun alarm system. They positioned copper bowls filled with water to catch the morning sun just right. As the sun rose, these bowls acted like giant magnifying glasses, focusing sunlight into an intense beam. When the sun hit the perfect angle, zap, you'd get a toasty wake-up call right on your face or feet. Some clever Egyptians even added special oils to the water, creating a wake-up aromatherapy session with a side of slight burning sensation. Think that's wild? Some priests used this method to time their morning rituals, claiming the sun god Ra himself was giving them a personal wake-up call. Now that's what I call a hot start to your day. Okay, this one's going to get gross. But the Vikings had a seriously weird way of timing their mornings. They used what we'll politely call a bladder clock. Here's how it worked. Vikings would drink specific amounts of water before bed, using their need to pee as a natural alarm clock. The more they drank, the earlier they'd wake up. Some Viking sailors even got so good at this they could time their watch shifts just by chugging different amounts of water. They'd mark their drinking horns with lines for different wake-up times, like a really primitive and uncomfortable version of setting your phone alarm. The best part? It worked, though I'm betting their shipmates weren't too thrilled about all the midnight bathroom runs. Hold on to your blankets, because medieval India had the most extra alarm clock ever, trained elephants. Royal handlers taught these giant living alarm clocks to spray water on sleeping nobles at specific times. They'd fill their trunks with water and, splash, give the royal sleepyhead a morning shower they couldn't ignore. The elephants got so precise they could tell time by the sun's position and even adjust the water pressure depending on how stubborn their target was. Some royals had different elephants for different times, like a jumbo-sized snooze button. The best part? These elephant alarms came with built-in backup. If the water spray didn't work, they'd trumpet loud enough to wake the whole palace. Ready for the most patient alarm clock in history? The Japanese came up with this wild system that would literally annoy you awake, one drop at a time. They set up bamboo tubes that would release water drops right onto a metal bowl near your head. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop created this tiny ting sound that started soft but got louder as the bowl filled up. The genius part? You couldn't just roll over and ignore it. The sound would keep getting more intense until you physically got up to empty the bowl. Some people even added different metals to create unique morning songs. It's like nature's most persistent DJ playing the world's most irritating one-note symphony until you finally give up and start your day. The Industrial Revolution brought us some wild jobs, but none quite as strange as the knocker-upper. These brave souls would walk the foggy streets of British factory towns with long sticks and, get this, pea shooters. Their mission? Waking up workers by shooting dried peas at their bedroom windows. It sounds like a kid's dream job, right? But these pros took their window tapping seriously. Mary Smith, London's most famous knocker-upper, could hit a third-floor window with sniper-like accuracy. She charged tuppence a week for her services, and if you didn't pay up, well, let's just say you might sleep through your shift. Some knocker-uppers even used bamboo poles to reach the highest windows, turning early morning wake-up calls into a bizarre urban ballet. Here's a wake-up hack that actually smells amazing. In ancient Arabia, clever traders figured out how to turn coffee beans into timekeepers. They'd set up special copper plates over small fires and carefully arrange coffee beans in circles. As the fire heated the plate, each ring of beans would roast and release its aroma at different times. The stronger the coffee smell got, the later it was. Some merchants got so good at this they could tell time down to the quarter hour just by sniffing. And bonus, once your aromatic alarm went off, you already had freshly roasted coffee ready to brew. Now that's what I call a smart morning routine. Thanks for joining this wild ride through history's craziest wake-up calls. If you enjoyed getting shocked, slapped, and elephant sprayed awake, smash that like button and subscribe for more bizarre historical tales. Share with your friends who hate mornings.